tous, c'est les gars. Ici, Clément Bernard alias Tiger. On avance dans The Other World 2. Tout le monde s'en fout, mais pas nous. Alors on va y aller à fond les balances. On se pousse un peu tout ça, tranquillos. Et allez, c'est parti.
Nice day for shady dealings. Protect your loved ones, protect yourself. But look, everyone else here, nothing you buy from them will matter if you get killed. So armor up. Tell me what you need. Booming now. Used to be a few other armor shops on the station. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real? Exactly. I wish some other sorts around here who like to cast a spur can do.
Oh là là, ce que c'est chiant, c'est pas possible.
If you lost it, I'm selling it.
Stimulants, medicaments, you've timed your visit. If you've wounds that need stitching, depends. Can you pay? I've met some people. Is there something else I can offer? Yes? Suffice it to say, I'm pleased. Medicam... If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit.
Beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
Do you realize any other arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out your body. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, Protectorate business. None within the Protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but.
I am hardly bending the rules, as you so put it, as we arbiters may operate however we see fit.
Say whatever you want, but trusting this fella even this close to the broker is a massive risk. Be a damn fool to take him at his word.
An arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the sovereign.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's honest, they see to the few needs they have by working with the broker. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not...
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
Great! Take the lap canid with you.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice. Yeah, I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we... I shall see you at the refugee.
Greetings, libations or information. What's your poison? Always. For example, there's some kind of...
Can't tell if you're a fixer or need fixing.
Now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation look... terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. Man of my... You've identified me properly. But information, I'm in charge of keeping... My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a You see, I can't just drink any old swill. Now, if you'll excuse... As it happens, standing in one place. I've been better.
Greetings, libations or information. What's your poison? Oh, sure. Got it right behind the bottle. No, I ain't got any fancy booze for our in-house drunkard. If you were running lots of folks in Sub Rosa have if their identities somehow got out, those friends and family are...
As it happens, standing in one place and focus.
Up to no good. Good.
Mind your own illicit business, and I'll mind mine. Keep a low profile. We're trying to run a
Keep your
respectable
nose
criminal
clean and
operation
your
here.
teeth.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my... None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? The Spectrum Dance Saber, a prototype weapon of Auntie's heyday. I shan't spoil its implications, not unless you prove your worth. Cards, my dear, of the toss-ball and pitch-ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! This is a fine collection of cards. For an amateur, I cannot open my wares to any unless they're collect. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But... back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me yourself.
Greetings again. Libations or information. What's your poison?
I shall see you at the refugee camp. Hopefully they shan't be chagrined. Be chagrined by my presence.
Get caught unawares, all you like. My armor will keep you safe.
My gear has the fewest holes. Auntie's choice. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, used to be had a lot. Turned out to be generic clothes. I got rat. You need coveralls. We got coveralls.
This ain't the place to go poking your nose in other folks' business.
if you became, what may this unit rehydrate for you? Yes, a current customer is not Prospero Apollo. Unit cannot vend to current customer. Scanning error. Cannot ascertain vending iceberg aged whiskey. Complete. Thank you for your all wares were at... Shop here to acquire fine. Welcome to our... What may this unit rehydrate for you? When last seen, Mr. Wenrich mentioned he... Error. Road sales grandstanding not found.
Doctor here. Get your stitches.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being my friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid... Everyone knows that the breed market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed, the crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them. That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again. Thanks for the help.
Shooter from not a weapons store, right? How's it treating you?
Greetings. How has the data collection fit? Finally, a breakthrough. Let's hear it. How did the ace... So their highest-ranking troops can't even put aside personal... Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent cap... Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might... Lacking this information is especially... This report is going to bear some glaring absences, which is... Here's something for your time. It would have been more if I'd been able to complete this, but there's nothing for that now. Auntie's Choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. I'm glad we're of like minds. I'll be sure to notify my friends and... Now I need to get this report.
Ship protection for sale. Don't want to come back to a hole in your fuselage, do ya?
Couple dozen Auntie's Choice sales logs. Notes from the high-profile order list.
they made the statue big enough?
Down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
This is your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times. The plan can stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
Wow. This station's sure gone to scrap since last I stepped about. I don't think we'll be hitching a ride anywhere quick. Like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take sides. Lest you're bent on exploring, best we hoof it over to Matriarch's Mercy and meet with that abbot Bassar mentioned.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to, had to leave from just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to, she screamed, hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you.
Let me know when you need a distraction. About. Lock and stock. Hey, got a distraction for you. Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mert, we should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description. Welcome to rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the... I thought our seer predicted that stay away from it, and in all probability, our prediction... Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around the... Safety and probability are incompatible. Not at present. That's enough. You need...
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Algorithmic. And then we solve for the... Ah, Apologies. Just catching up on a research. Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245338. Typically, the app to show how the Crabble patties are made. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. Given our present, according to life outside sees increased risk of starvation. We have diverted, but if my data remains then back to it. If we factor for random elements offsetting.
How long are we meant to stay here? How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the order. I'm not in a prediction.
The grand plan. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually... Lately, the abbot has... You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor. Suppose I, more than any other, I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math. And oh dear, I got, as I'm sure you, I am single-handedly making a difference here. With constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, never as many as I would like, perhaps. Eventually. The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of order philosophy.
1,068.5 pardons. But my attention is presently 99.81. Well, as you may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, if I can help others in need, appreciate. My time is yours. You may.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific... Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, yes. Infrastructure requests from the or beyond me, more to the point. One priority concern stands out. Well, something of a Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone? Excuse me, but the intricate... You see, but the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway. We don't know. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside we can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold? The first step is the displaced one. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you, you can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling map. According to predictions, many people... Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Have you spoken... Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides, to put it, but with effort, patience, and Good. As with probability, there is an...
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. I mean, we ain't gonna give up our cots for what could be the enemy. We're doing what we got. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. But nothing's ever really... I went through this myself, and all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? They'd have to be evil to eat anyhow. Appreciate you hearing me out. How personal are we talking? This new you didn't, but suppose if her treatment doesn't stick, then maybe it's my time to go. Oh, can't say. I'd rather not dwell on those moments if it's all.
By the Lord, it's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. As a doctor, we don't have enough bed. Of course, yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Landing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order. Recently, I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very... Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is where to begin. There are so many sick... I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out.
You also strike me as... The Seer gave me a data... Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you aren't... Welcome back. Any luck enlisting help?
Cultured banquet. A 100% fabricated meal. The consummation of...
You're right. The universe does not...
Ah! I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive method. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We need... The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our The Department of... After years of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive. But unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers... But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known... Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order, why I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the... Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent, if my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation... Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. I foresee you have much to do.
you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge?
And leave Abbot Newell to be subjected to the inanity of a total stranger. Absolutely not.
Don't trouble yourself about Seer Wiley. He's here as my aide. I trust him implicitly. Now, you were saying? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Peter Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse.
The future of nourishment is here. Apogee chips, shelf stable and intestinally safe. Tomorrow's favorite snack is available today.
From the Order of the Ascendant.
And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Victor is dedicated. Single-minded, one could say. I've always thought highly of his analytical skills as a researcher. Less so his social ones, perhaps. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision...
Respectfully, scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly top. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence. But if you could also render aid at outpost opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Well, please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have... Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's...
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation. Particularly in the field of Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine.
Oh yeah? Is now a good time to talk about my salary?
No, it's not like that at all. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, that is a statue of the matriarch. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is...
Oh, certainly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you...
Please, not so close.
Welcome. Anything I can do to assist you? Illuminating the path to true erudition is rift worshippers spouting in...
Your nominate and new is taking great interest in your...
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we... Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Thank you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
You beheld that new rifle up at the monastery, the Oracle?
The one Wiley designed, right?
Where to first, Commander? Henry Rames, Serenium Manufacturer?
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer. Achieve ascension. The Office of Hindrance Deterrence and Obviation has posted the following for venturesome pursuers of justice and fortune. A bounty for the lives of Edward and Morton Dunsany.
I'd give my 10-year
operating out of the compound Garden Estates. A bounty for the life of Jan Dunsany, notorious bushwhacker. Dangerously addled, last said to be holed up at the Scrapper's Den. Ample rewards to be collected upon completion at the bounty posting site at Matriarch's Mercy.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Oh, that apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Remember this place before the war.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Keep your behavior acceptable parameters.
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Well, I'm gonna be sick.
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. Yes, this was an act of... I'd surmise...
Well, it weren't our...
They must have done something to provoke an attack. The Order controls everything. Well, not certain about that last one anymore. After the attack... Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the Rifts or some such. They're both excessive. They've also been known to pose as refugees. The creatures are of the genus Verachnid. Stranger, the Order bids you welcome, but also warnings.
I don't see anything else coming. Was it just the one?
Therefore, you need to be part of the Order of the Ascendant. Drop by our predictory.
Cause trouble and I will school you. Chapter and verbs.
Your future. What happens next may surprise you, but not us. Next up. Well, the seers among you already know.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmythe, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numenistics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is. You should have learned that definition decades ago, while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2, then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, uplifting, almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. What are your prime numbers? Wait, yes.
Right over here.
Prime numbers.
You're not getting down below until
Why
you
would we
talk
want
to
to
me.
find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of number theory applications. All kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such.
The abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ only two in
Sure.
their value?
Far be it from... Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes... I'll send word you're en route. But fair warning, I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or specific, though functionally correct, I assure you. The to date, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations.
Future calculations.
Your supposition, although grammatically dubious, is statistically correct. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions.
With the deft skills of our exemplars, this keen partnership censorship not only forced our rapacious rivals to drop supplies...
Both of them? I admit I'm to a reasonable...
lines of hastily dug trenches. So
May
much for
fate
their
and fortune
baseless
converge.
conjecture that bookish theoreticians, a tidier paraphrasing of their...
Evidently originated here. Transport pod full of uranium. Through outpost opportunity to naught but changes in flinders.
Conversation is not possible at this or any time.
And now, additional data and music determined to facilitate cognition. Next up,
Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. Explosion. I'm not cleared to speak. May all your theories... What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. It wasn't until we heard the explosion. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a transport pod full of uranium was fired from here at Outpost Opportunity. Terminal input functions down below. Regrettably, that is all. May all your endeavors elicit optimal results.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence.
Wait, is this being broadcast? I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor's Famuda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. Once her name took over. I'm not clear to speak with random factors. I'm not clear to... I'm not... Things have been a mite haywire.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. Oh, now I wouldn't frame it. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate out parole, a spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, she then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Whatever for. We've already, I suppose, some limited nosing about, but I'll be in my office.
A feast for your occipital lobe and...
Ready to take the heat off, Commander. Just stay with me.
Prepare to sense...
described of arachnid callicity as slavering. You okay?
I have many solutions, but none for your problems. By the look of
Haven't intellectually stimulated.
Too exemplar. Can't talk.
Do your
Calculating
own
with inverse complex line version.
Of course, she's hiding something. You think Alba's been here for how many years?
I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat.
The observatory processes a wealth of information gathered by its giant ocular telescope. The site also has a front-facing portion to admit dewy-eyed laypeople seeking edification and enrichment about our learnings and ways. And those are just a few of the 36.7 qualitatively valid reasons why Alexandra Monastery counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry.
Do not frequency lest you miss what comes next.
This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. And who is that you brought with you? Ah, an auntie's tour and someone else. Another Earth Directorate agent, I see.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. I was apparently at the wrong point in space at the wrong point in time. Really? Do you see me, a saboteur? Oh, don't they always attempt to? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled outpost opportunity. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. I hate to speak poorly of management, but I assume she's acting as any functionary would. Aside, dear me, I wish I knew. But, why yes, I could unseal access to the... I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, appreciate your help, did me. The plan favor us against long arm.
Investigator? Always account for may circumstances proceed toward intended results. Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see aunties being too dissuaded by them, though.
Our Earth Directorate, Fred. Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away.
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention. Do not let my position fool you. All within the order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for... We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery. Nothing conclusive.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear?
Clues? Visit your local predictory.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses.
I see they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched but still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them.
School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know.
Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what a uranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I will start by explaining what a prime number is.
I can speak to the coordinate override. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing.
I expect the uranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
And once I was called reiterative.
Part of me would like to tease you right now and say...
prime numbers. What are they?
All right.
The simplest definition is...
I'll stay here and play for more time. If...
Let's call that set N2. Then a prime is any number in the set N2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers.
All your endeavors add to the equation.
Elegant, uplifting, almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of abstract number theory applications, and that should and would be sufficient reason to want them. But there are also, how should I say, practical applications, such as maintaining the security of bit cartridges. In fact, our archive uses primes for that reason and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage.
May all your theories prove true.
System of data, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numismatics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next senior tenured laureate of the tertiary adjunct school of numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good dispositions to you all, and good day.
Had plenty of managers like Svoboda back on Tau Ceti. Couldn't take responsibility for nothing.
Broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. All pay heed and take warning. Recent reports note a sporadic outbreak of belligerent zealots characterized as having cobwebs in the attic throughout the Golden Ridge. Specifically through the N-ray range, our laboratory tasked with harnessing mysterious stellar radiation. We've lost contact with facility personnel, thusly fear the worst. Codes and trespassers could never comprehend the fundamental which might only render these zealots all the more unpredictable and dangersome. Unfortunately, given the current state of Golden Ridge infrastructure,
let me know when you need a distraction.
of the autopsy.
Back in?
Prescription
Bill.
filled.
Happy to help. Discreet. Let's get you healed. Out of sight and on the way.
And its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and death, until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for Auntie's Choice. The purpleberry parasite infects nearly 100% over here purpleberry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collections. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purpleberry plants were subsequently spread throughout the colonies.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely.
Auntie's Choice going forward. That may offend some of my more literal.
I was in my cot doing it. The door was creaky to open. Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through the, well, in my professional opinion, looks like based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either works in operations. Well, careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
Order cease daily interactions with our protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purpleberry parasite, or PBP. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine the PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage, as spiky worm-like creatures with outsized pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size of approximately 2 centimeters in length, and they then seek out nearby purpleberry plants to lay their eggs in the ripening purpleberry. And I should add that the plants are well fertilized in this entire process. Also, as the expelled contents contain undigested purpleberry seeds, the distribution of the plants is increased, helping infected purpleberry plants to spread farther and grow better than uninfected ones. Perhaps unsurprisingly, careless Auntie's Choice scientists mislabeled this case of obvious symbiosis, given how both the purpleberry plant and its parasite are benefited by the relationship, as a parasitical relationship. Given that
all your
initial
theories
classification error, it's a wonder the Auntie's Choice scientists managed to ascertain any subsequent safeguards at all. After some additional casualties, plodding Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that co-native planetary fauna was well adapted to the parasite, and hardly a liquidator! Disrupted the team's internal balance destructively, but the correspondingly large immune response leads to violently explosive resulting in the expelling of the worms, even when reluctantly given medical attention by Auntie's Choice doctors, who were more concerned with upselling unnecessary procedures or prescribing expensive ointments such as their antibiotics, a topical cream that offers no benefit to the dying patient except possibly smoothing away stubborn wrinkles, according to product literature. However, given the purpleberry's non-zero nutritional value and low growing costs, Impatient Auntie's Choice administration officials directed their labs to find ways to remove the parasite from the berry. A variety of methods were tested and found effective, but they were all time-consuming and wasteful of the edible portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually, the answer was found not in a lab, but in a history book. Specifically, a history text on Saltuna, a crossbreed of two different earth fish species called salmon and tuna, was found to contain reference to anisakid nematodes, or salmon worms, with an estimated 70 to 90% of all salmon being infected by these parasites. More importantly, the text contained the solution to eradicating these parasites: freezing. The simple and obvious, yet untried, act of freezing the salmon meat kills the embedded parasites. A quick test showed the same procedure worked on PVP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that
May the plan guide you.
wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein content of the berries without
Always account for standard deviation.
flavor in any discernible way. The microscopic egg remains were simply too small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers. So Auntie's Choice administrators were sentenced.
Something about that Alva doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad.
Berries are now a
Just for the
common
record.
nutritional and flavoring agent throughout the colony worlds. Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers.
This unit is...
Yes. Suppose you'll do.
Another reason this documentary
I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by. Oh, what else will this higgledy-pig might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of uranium is up yonder in... Well, as a fellow student, we developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas? Tremendous. Why, that may deliberate endeavors beget expected result. Yes, yes, I had had my fill of stochastic uncertainty today.
A statistically significant number of scienticians agree. Vinculum flavor drops are qualitatively advantageous. Help your food taste better together with Vinculum from the Order of the Centaur. A statement with dual meaning. People who hate numbers do not count as much as the rest. Next out. Well, the seers among you already know.
I see my uranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes, I must admit I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's, not much, keeps to herself mostly, or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the north. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware, higher levels of... I am greatly...
Questions. Today we have 3 questions for our youth-adjacent layperson liaison, Vicar Max Sisai, in this installment of Ask a Vicar. First up in our trilogy of queries, I am currently working as a statistical analyzer, but I feel I've missed my calling as an analytical statistician. How might I switch careers?
I received such circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Known as merged spline interpolation. One solution would be to engage in operations, just to avoid Runge's phenomenon of convergent oscillation. But of course, you already know how to circumvent such a simple polynomial degeneracy. Good luck. Godspeed.
Second query, should I have another offspring? I already have 2 of them.
Your answer requires more elaborate mathematics than I can perform at the moment, but here's a general calculation based on the desired procreation rate of 2.3 offspring per couple.
Oh, hello, dear.
Calculate the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your left, and add to it the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your right. If this total sum is less than 23, you should have another child. If the sum is greater, you should not have another child. If the sum is exactly 23, you should move to a new neighborhood and repeat the experiment. Next query.
Final question for the vicar. Do these pantaloons make my posterior look overly substantial?
No, those pantaloons do not appear as a term in the antecedent of that statement. Instead, other terms are leading to the validity of that assertion. Thank you for listening. If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. The future is colliding with the present every moment.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
We were once 2 separate points. We had no connection till the end of the order gave us no direction. Then we were parallel lines traveling into infinity.
Why, we were just talking.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troublings.
You know how the order is. Always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's a...
Oh, I see you 2 thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an order proctor, and you are far more capable than some back manufacturing button pusher.
I am a dedicated agent of the order, but no, dear. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the endpoint.
If you want one, you gotta earn it. Start rescuing sprats out of trees. Or maybe finish the important conversations you start.
I must admit, the rumors about your department, they said anyone who might delay the equation, if there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely...
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a...
That you are who you are. Understand? I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor's Svoboda.
It's sweet that you think you can stop me, but I'll elucidate this for you. At this point, you'll either need to... That ridiculous little functionary upended my existence. For 20 years, I was Alpha. It wasn't a good life I had here, but it was quiet. It was mine. It wasn't...
This would mean standing against a member of the Order. A mid-ranking one, at that.
We verify before we amplify. Confirm your hypotheses.
I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise, good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation. I appreciate your practicality. Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Yes, though I was aiming best search her office. Someone cleared...
It would have been nice to perform that search before there was a corpse in the room, but beggars and choosers.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. place used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme.
Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Sure, I could use a few ticks off my feet.
And don't let that one stray outside.
Excellent. Well then.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today. May fate and fortune converge.
One thing that you must focus. Rationality is a part of our program. Using part, another without end, evokes a result, correct in the dividend. Accept it, and you can plainly see a positive externality. A positive externality.
Got a bad feel about this line, huh? Don't like being so...
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return?
Thus?
Good to see you.
In this infinity, can it be?
See the order looking after others. Sometimes that particular tenet gets lost among all the delights of math.
Oh, a visitor. Without notice. Hello. Granted, I mostly skim the parts. What? Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not. First time I got a POB, it was just after lunch. Wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple. One, I mean, if you want any. Few times. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant, you did. I don't.
pinnacle meal replacement bars, the complete part of your daily meals and
Broke? I banged up the void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2, 3. You want doesn't. Anyhow.
Word to wise, don't accept anything here that's given for free. You'll pay, one way or another.
Understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract...
Keeping everything above... Sorry.
You got business? No? Move on.
3.141.
You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh?
9, 7.
Hello. You're the one that aided us in unveiling sub rosa of a rather Agent Galloway is slightly... Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's superb. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environment. Will the order attempt to drive me out? We'll make... Oh no, I'm not getting fooled on that again. There's always a convenience fee. We stand beyond... We've still got folks we can't... Idle bro...
9, 3, 7, 5, 1, 0, 5, 8, 2, 0, 9, 7, 4, 9. How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I? How many digits in pi? How many numbers am I?
Don't do anything foolish.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate, or that. Oh, here sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Half the time, now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a torrent.
4, 4, 5, 9, 2, 3, 0, 7, 8, 1, 6, 4, 0.
What happened to this? Where do we go now? Another rip. What happened to this place? Matriarch's mercy is no safer than
We're
the
not
trenches.
going anywhere. Not on the
Try not
basis
to
of some half-baked prediction. This... Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. Oh, the Order wants us. Screw their predictions. We have people displaced by war. Am I supposed to? Sorry. What does the administrant want? To shut me up? I don't know what the administrant's gate. Best thing you can do is introduce yourself around camp. See why we need the exclusion zones open. All right.
So, Abbot Newell sent you to my manufactory to lower tensions with Auntie's choice, I take it. Have you tried talking with them directly? Well, sometimes that level... The Order has been made out to be in the wrong here. It would be a shame for hostilities to reignite before we find out who's responsible. Suppose you can ask. Sometime, when all is said and done, are those in your ledger any less dead than mine? That so? Hadn't thought you'd felt that. Some were... Proprietary. May all our...
Fellow ascendants, it is not hyperbole to state we live in perilous times for...
Where do we go now?
Spatial
Another refugee camp? Another colony?
The meaning of life is numeric, and we are the keepers of the equation.
Yet none represents the peril in which I speak. We cannot choose our trials, only predict them and prepare. We have done both with usual efficiency. Our greatest enemy is distraction. so divide our attention, or we risk incongruence with the grand plan. That way lies chaos. We are the order. We cannot control misfortune's ebb and flow.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing.
As if tracking the tides or charting the shoals. Embrace rational thought.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear. Refugee settlements are... Oh, yeah. Happens. Don't have proper building material or nothing. Oh, you put... Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. They're doing so...
Predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Find out how you can take part in your future.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics.
Administrant Agrawal.
Yes, well,
They say you asked around.
Data that is
Listen to
gathered,
folks.
collated,
That's a good start, at least.
subjected to analysis.
the seer predicted imminent danger to the exclusion zone.
In that
Well, the displaced are the ones taking that risk.
The displaced mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
It will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance.
I'm all ears, mediator.
Are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine?
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach
That is unquantifiably absurd. And I don't see how moving into the The fault here is my own. I see now that the displaced require... I understand he...
Yeah. Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp.
We have ample room to space people out more.
That is indeed unfortunate. But the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. Collapsed.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure. More of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make...
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established... Speak on them.
Was ever left to chance? The answer, of
Did he
course,
also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
with less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not
But our
have
predictions are given to... Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt.
still forced to deal in probability.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations.
Mathematics is the hidden language of the universe.
I haven't heard that much sugarcoating outside of an anti-suppositor. You actually...
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
And input by our
If the provisioner's booked up, I say...
It's less of an issue of personnel, and by my calculations, you've explored this topic from every I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate, if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands.
leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any
Shit.
and all data.
Very well, administrant. You win.
I'll have faith. Or, if not, your reward, mediator, with my thanks.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. Fellow esteemed members of the Order of the Ascendant allocated to Golden Ridge. As foreseen, recent conflicts between the Protectorate, Auntie's Choice, and ourselves have resulted in notable detrimental effects throughout this region, including but not limited to the loss of Fort Endurance, disabling of the tramicular, and a 17.9% reduction in effective sleep cycles per evening. But before you succumb to a sense of malaise that undermines cognitive function, take heart from these additional, sharply contrasting data points. Our efforts deciphering the universal equation remain unabated. Extraction continues at Zeranium Manufactory 7, as does research at the N-Ray range. Remember, just as our calculations allow for a predictable range of error, so do we. Our work continues.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." Oh, that apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Continuing as predetermined. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.